Hello and welcome to CTV News Across Canada for Friday, August the 15th. We've got the top local stories from coast to coast, stories that affect you and the country. Thanks for joining us.
If there was a Tetris packing championship, we'd probably win it. We're just jammed much stuff as we could get in there.
And while efficient, that's a championship no one wants to compete for.
Take as many things as you can with you, right? If we got to unpack it, spend the day reorganizing all the stuff that we messed up, that's okay. Like at least we got ample foods and all of our animals are mostly taken care of. An assortment of tools in case everything's gone. I've got something to start over with. These are our ornamental chickens.
The West Dalhousie resident believed the fire was about 3 to 5 kilometers from his home. You can see some smoke in the distance from this look-off, but there are 2 fires burning.
They're actually quite close to each other. They're within a 10-kilometer radius. So that's part of the issue, is potentially we could see these morph into one.
The much larger fires between Long Lake and Godfrey Lake, and a map from the province this afternoon shows the fire line and the much wider evacuation line.
Since this morning, it's grown from 30 hectares to 300 hectares. And as you can see today, the wind isn't quite in our favor.
We're pretty confident this was a lightning fire. We had 4 fires in the last day that are along the same parallel as these. So we're pretty confident that's what they are. And due to the remoteness of those fires as well, hard for us to get in, so hard for anyone to get in there as well.
But it's not just homes that crews are trying to protect.
There is a community center that is out there that's being used as a command post for the on-the-ground individuals. And as well as we have some cell phone towers that are out there.
According to the county, about 100 people were forced from their homes and urged to check in at the Bridgetown Fire Department, serving as a comfort center. An evacuation warning came last night before an order this morning.
If the rain comes tonight, and we get to go home tomorrow, but that's what everyone would hope for, I imagine. Just getting to go home, period, would be nice, because not a lot of people that are experiencing these kinds of things get to do that.
Callum Smith, CTV News, Bridgetown, Nova Scotia.
Storming in on their employer, about 24 Air Canada flight attendants picket inside a news conference that was organized by the airline.
We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued for the work that we do.
Members stand holding signs accusing Air Canada of forcing unpaid work. This as the airline begins canceling flights, winding down operations towards a total shutdown.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
At the start of the day, Air Canada leadership outlined what the shutdown would look like. It includes several dozen cancellations Thursday, around 500 cancellations on Friday, with all flights grounded by Saturday if a deal is not reached in time. The first cancellations to be mostly international long-haul flights set to take off Thursday night. At Pearson Airport in Toronto, an information desk has been set up to help travelers who are concerned.
I'm concerned about getting back from my destination. That's about it.
I'm hoping it'll be very short-lived and resolved really quickly. If not, I guess we're finding another ride home.
The airline saying all canceled flights will be offered a refund as they try to rebook for those who are stranded, but seats are limited.
And it looks like we're going to have to pay out of pocket probably about $900 for a new flight.
We are extremely disappointed by CUPE's decision, which threatens to disrupt the travel plans of more than 130,000 customers a day.
The airline saying their latest offer, a 38% raise including benefits, that would make Air Canada the best compensated flight attendants in the country.
One of the lowest rates.
Bargaining team member Natasha Steya says the airline isn't being truthful.
We're not the highest paid, and with the increase that they're proposing, we still would not be the highest paid.
As both sides argue over compensation and what the union is calling unpaid work, at this point, there's little either side can agree on.
We have been at the table, sitting and waiting. We've been talking with the conciliators. We've been there. But the employer, they left.
We never left the table. We are engaged throughout the entire process.
Air Canada has asked the federal government to step in and force mediation, with Federal Labour Minister Patty Hajdu saying the government is available, but I urge both parties to put their differences aside, come back to the bargaining table, and get this done now for the many travelers who are counting on you. Labour Minister Patty Hajdu saying that the union requested until 12 p.m. on Friday to decide whether they want to enter binding arbitration. She has granted that request. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
More than 2 weeks after police shut down a massive homeless encampment in a green space outside the downtown core, police say they have their man. This man, Robert Ladissour, 52, also known as Tattoo Rob. A lengthy list of charges he now faces, including first-degree murder, second-degree murder, indignity to a body, plus numerous drug possession and trafficking counts. Ladissour was first arrested earlier this month in Midland after police issued a community safety warning. He was charged initially with 19 criminal offenses, primarily weapons-related and fleeing from police. In a release issued late this afternoon, Barrie police say this case started after reports of a missing person, and what transpired was a complex and twisted investigation from there with their major crime and homicide unit. The evidence, they say, led them to believe Ladissour is responsible for the deaths and dismemberment of two men, 45-year-old William Blake Robinson and 41-year-old David Cheesequay. Police say this investigation involves a number of locations, including this wooded area in Barrie that's been used as an illegal encampment, a second location in Huntsville, and a third location at a residence in North Simcoe County. Robert Ladissour has been in custody since his arrest last week. Barrie police spent more than a week sifting through the encampment in Barrie, which is now fenced off. Police say they recovered what is believed to be human remains that have now been transported to the Centre of Forensic Sciences in Toronto. Now, police have not revealed any motive behind this case, or if it was drug-related, or if the men knew each other. However, we can tell you that Robert Ladissour is scheduled to appear in Barrie Court first thing tomorrow morning to face these new charges. And Sarah, police telling CTV News today they will not be releasing any kind of new information in the coming days or weeks until they hold a news conference set for later this month.
Just frustrating. Heart-aching.
Ontario's premier responding to questions from CTV News about a deadly crash that claimed the life of Andrew Cristillo and seriously injured his 3 daughters earlier this month.
I talked to his father, and it's just heart-wrenching. You think of 3 young girls, you know, his wife that has cancer. Everyone has to pitch in and help this family. It's terrible.
The premier with a personal connection. The same driver charged with dangerous driving causing death in that case, 18-year-old Jaywin Kirubananthan, is also charged with dangerous driving in a crash with the premier's motorcade in January on Highway 401 in Pickering, just east of Toronto.
Do you worry that that could have been you?
Well, it could have, like 3-4 inches more. He hit me right on my door, going over 200 kilometers an hour. We didn't even know it hit us. We were just driving straight. And he swooped across 3 lanes from an on-ramp, just reckless, careless, stunt driving. And yeah, we're lucky, literally by inches.
The case launched an outpouring of support for Cristillo's family, the kids in hospital. Compounding the tragedy, their mom, Christina, was already fighting advanced breast cancer. An online fundraiser to provide for the girls has raised more than $425,000 so far.
Kirubananthan didn't face any driving restrictions pending his trial for what happened here on the 401. The reason is he was given a summons by police and not arrested and subjected to a bail hearing. Lawyers say that's very common.
The case prompting questions about whether more can be done to restrict drivers charged with dangerous acts. The premier said he would look into it, but didn't want to say too much.
I better stop because I don't want any problems when he goes to court.
Kirubananthan is considered innocent unless proven guilty. He's in custody now. A decision on whether to grant him bail will be made on Friday. John Woodward, CTV News.
What was supposed to be a day of celebration and love marred yet again by sign after sign after sign of hate.
It's getting tiring. How can anybody have so much hate in them anymore? It's saddening.
Some of the graffiti was cleaned up within hours, but as our cameras saw, not all of it could be erased in time. Among those who reported it was Ottawa Street BIA Chair Ettore Bonato, who spent part of the Pride Parade walking block after block with a paint roller in hand to remove the graffiti.
Windermere, all the way down to Parent, on foot, checking everything all out. And the city of Windsor was out also, and they were doing all the electrical boxes. On the way back, I already saw words written in magic marker on the electrical boxes. So paint over it again.
Bonato says Ottawa Street's diversity with LGBTQ plus residents, newcomers, and longtime ethnic communities has made the area a target.
This type of hate graffiti, I find it a lot here. I fought 40 years ago for my rights. It is just amazing how all of a sudden we all have to fight again.
For the president of the Windsor Pride community, this is more than a nuisance, it's intimidation.
To you, it's just graffiti. To somebody else, that's a threat. It makes us have to look over our shoulders every time we walk down the street.
And Windsor police numbers show these reports are not slowing down. There were 32 hate-motivated reports in 2023, 39 in 2024, and 37 already in 2025, with 4 months of the year still to go. While police investigate these incidents, Bonato says the real message back to the vandals is simple.
We're not scared of you, and we're going to be who we want to be.
And as for Nicholson, she says she's committed to confronting hate head-on, no matter how often it appears.
I will come back every time, and I will speak out on it every time.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
After more than a year of construction, the Anderson Ambulatory Assessment Area Zone 7 is officially open.
This space is our lower acuity zone, so it's a zone that's dedicated to seeing probably about 50% of our daily patient volumes.
The goal is to see as many patients as possible, as efficiently as possible.
There's more spaces for them to come, get assessed by a nurse, by a physician assistant, and then also still have a place to receive care that is comfortable.
The 2,200 square foot space includes 6 private treatment rooms, a minor procedures room, modern medical equipment, and new waiting areas, all curated to meet the needs of patients and Brantford General Hospital's growing demand.
As more and more people move into our community, as more and more people are still struggling to find family physicians, an emergency department is often a place that people turn to when they need care.
The new assessment area is the latest phase in the hospital's emergency department renovation improvement project.
We're moving on to construction for some extended stay rooms, some ER mental health rooms, and then the other phase is to redo the waiting room and the triage rooms as well.
The total cost of the project is $32.4 million. While majority is covered by the province, the hospital is responsible for 10%, along with furniture and equipment.
The foundation had a campaign to raise approximately $8 million, which they've done successfully.
But as the hospital grows, so does the community.
More is needed to be done, and that's why we've been doing all the work and advocacy in the background to work towards the new hospital development as well.
The Brant Community Healthcare System says the entire project is expected to be completed by early 2027. Alexandra Hollig, CTV News, Brantford.
A dramatic scene at the start of the afternoon rush hour near one of Ottawa's busiest highways. An OC Transpo bus colliding with an overhead sign at Bayshore Shopping Mall Wednesday after the driver took a wrong turn into the mall's parking garage. The entire encounter captured on video.
That was the first time I've ever seen an OC Transpo bus actually going over there and try to maneuver out of there. So, yeah, that was actually insane, honestly, when you enter the parking lot.
Aaron Jella takes the bus every day. He didn't see the crash firsthand, and although no one was injured, it's left him unsettled.
I'm really glad that no one was in there and that bus was not in service.
In a statement, OC Transpo says it's reviewing this incident against our standard operating procedures to better understand what occurred and will be conducting a thorough safety investigation of the incident.
Like, if I were on the bus, it would be really scary, you know, like with the bridge and stuff, like, you know, it was like really bad.
The collision closed the ramp to the parking garage for hours Wednesday night. The bus was removed overnight and the ramp has fully reopened. Meanwhile, it's not clear whether any disciplinary action will follow this investigation.
They shot something into my arm, and then I wondered what is going on, because when it was in me, I felt really funny. I was scared.
Lana Ponting was just 16 years old when she was hospitalized at Montreal's Allen Memorial Institute on the campus of McGill University. She was admitted by her parents to the psychiatric hospital in 1958 after she ran away from home several times.
I had behavior problems like any normal teenager, and I guess they thought putting me into the Allen would help me and help them.
The now 84-year-old who lives in Winnipeg spent a month under the care of psychiatrist Ewan Cameron.
I've been sick all my life because of what they did to me, and sometimes I wake up in the night and I'm screaming.
Unknowingly, Ponting was a part of the infamous MK Ultra program, a Cold War-era CIA project partially funded by the Canadian government. Ponting says she was forced to take drugs like LSD and subjected to a series of mind control and brainwashing experiments.
We were never given consent. They just did what they wanted to us. We were guinea pigs.
In late July, a Quebec Superior Court judge authorized a class action lawsuit against McGill University, Montreal's Royal Victoria Hospital, and the Government of Canada. Ponting is a representative plaintiff in the suit, which alleges hundreds of patients like her were subjected to experiments and not even aware of it.
What scares you more, what you can remember or what you don't know that happened?
What I don't remember. What did they do?
Ponting says Ottawa needs to apologize for the harms done, and the lawsuit is seeking compensation.
I don't look at myself as a hero. I look at myself as an 84-year-old woman who will talk. I will not shut up for anyone.
Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Well, bear warnings for anyone who ventures into the mountains is nothing new, but a blanket warning in all of K Country and the Bow Valley certainly is. The last time Alberta Parks issued an advisory like that for the area was 2016. And now they're urging visitors and anyone in the area who ventures out to be sure that they pack bear spray and be extra bear aware. It's a stunning scenery that attracts thousands outdoors, many hopeful to spot wildlife from afar.
You saw a grizzly on the road, crazy, like pretty scary. We were in the car, so we felt safe. If you saw that on a trail, it would be a different story.
But there have been so many recent bear sightings and close encounters with both grizzly and black bears that it has warranted a blanket warning for all of K Country and the Bow Valley.
We often will issue warnings for smaller areas, and we had been over the last few weeks, but we're just realizing that, man, these bears are everywhere and they're moving around a lot, so we've gone with the whole Kananaskis-wide advisory.
It's thanks to buffalo berry season, with an abundance along trails and campgrounds in the valley bottom. Regular rain this summer has created a perfect patch, and where there are berries, there are bears. Lots of them.
The number of grizzly bears that we're seeing is somewhat astonishing. We have a suite of bears that we regularly see and interact with, but we're all of a sudden we're seeing new bears. We have no idea where they've come from.
People are urged to be prepared for a bear anywhere, even the busy trails. Like, do you guys carry bear spray and things like that?
It's expensive, so we didn't buy one, but we just assumed there's not going to be any bears. So
it's something Kim Titchener, the founder of Bear Safety and More, hears too often.
People don't read signs. They may not catch the news. It might not be in their language, so they don't know what's going on. We're near the front nozzle. You're going to pull that.
She says it's crucial people carry bear spray and know how to use it.
And aim down and point. It's a big wake-up call. Always take it as a bear. It's always bear safety season.
The warning is worrisome for some, but parking lots at popular trails remain packed.
Hopefully talking a lot, which we have lots of kids.
Make a lot of noise, and we're in their territory.
We have such a short summer, and this year it's even worse, so might as well go enjoy, right?
With a reminder to wander wisely in bear country. Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Kananaskis.
Kristen Boychuk moved to Royal Oak from Vancouver last year with her young family. They accepted how close their new home is to facilities like the Calgary Remand Centre, the Calgary Correction Centre, and the Youth Offender Centre.
You'll hear helicopters every once in a while from while they're searching for somebody who's escaped one of the lockups.
But she says she and her new neighbors have been left out of the loop about a new involuntary drug addiction treatment centre.
It's the lack of public consultation for it. That's the biggest concern for all of us because we have so many questions.
The province is calling it the Southern Alberta Compassionate Intervention Centre. The province wants to build it in Spy Hill, near Country Hills Boulevard. At a price tag of $180 million, patients would be restricted to the 150-bed facility under guard of protected services. It builds off the government's Alberta recovery model that emphasizes abstinence from harmful substances in the wake of the opioid epidemic. Opponents of the involuntary care model say the location is telling.
If the Alberta government wanted to remind everybody that these facilities are essentially prisons, they've certainly succeeded at that.
Similar concerns are being raised by professors at the University of Calgary.
We know in our institutions that substances are available. There's many ways that people bring substances in.
The other critique is, of course, that compelling people to undergo treatment raises issues, for example, under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says many jurisdictions have experienced positive outcomes with varying models of mandatory treatment. There is not enough evidence to back the claim that mandatory treatment does not work. We are committed to an ongoing review of compassionate intervention.
China's new tariff on canola seed is here, and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says it's time for the Prime Minister to speak up.
Mark Carney has said nothing about the canola producers, like he doesn't care about Western Canadian producers.
The nearly 76% tariff announced on Tuesday has already caused prices of the crop to fall, wiping out hundreds of millions of dollars in value overnight. The tariff is in response to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles, in addition to other levies in recent months. Poilievre wouldn't directly answer if Ottawa should repeal the EV tariff, but says its revenue is creating a fund that should be helping Western canola farmers.
The money raised by the Canadian government in that dispute should go back to the people who are paying the bills.
The president of the Agriculture Producers Association of Saskatchewan says the Prime Minister should be on the next plane to China before the damage gets any worse.
He's got to do something because right now it looks like we're being sacrificed.
Later Thursday afternoon, the Prime Minister did speak up, posting a message on X saying he spoke with Premier Scott Moe and both men are focused on a series of measures to support hardworking farmers. Carney says Canada does not dump canola, which was a motivation for China imposing the tariff, and says we will advance a constructive dialogue with the Chinese officials to address our respective trade concerns while diversifying our trade abroad and supporting our canola producers at home. Prabilski says getting to this point is disappointing. He feels farmers across the prairies are caught in the middle of a trade war Canada started.
We're basically helpless here, other than we can advocate for changes and hope that our voices are being heard.
Until then, farmers continue to adjust to this new layer of uncertainty for Saskatchewan's most lucrative crop. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A Yorkton family started the week with a shocking discovery.
So my son Ben discovered this first thing in the morning. He leaves for work at 6 a.m. And so he took a picture and sent it to me, and that's what I woke up to.
Overnight, homophobic slurs were spray painted on their garage door and house front.
I don't think we were super upset at the time, but my daughter was. Especially the words that they used were so ugly.
After giving it some thought, the family decided not to remove the hateful words, instead transforming what intended to hurt and harm into something beautiful and positive.
We are proud of who we are. We're proud of ourselves as a family, and we're proud of the 2S LGBTQ plus people in our family and in our community and our friends. And the person that did this is the person that should feel ashamed and small and ugly, not us.
The mayor of Yorkton says hate has no place here.
Any vandalism is wrong and is a crime, but when you tie in that type of hate with the vandalism, it's completely unacceptable and really is disappointing from my place as mayor, and I think for most of the residents of our community, if not all the residents of our community, it's a very disappointing thing to see happen.
Neighbors, friends, colleagues, and schoolmates are showing a tremendous amount of support for the family, proving that after every storm comes a rainbow.
Yeah, it was just a lot of people came to me, like more than I expected, and to be as upset as they were, it made me feel like a part of a community that actually cared about me and understood me. So that was actually really nice.
The family says the incident has been reported to the RCMP. Fruzsina de Kloot, CTV News, Yorkton.